Good morning, class. In previous revision class, we have gone through the concept of map and reduce and how we can analyze NCDC, that is National Climatic Data Center dataset, in which we have 100 years of data. With respect to each year, the temperature, air temperature and many other meteorological measures have been taken across the globe at various weather stations. And from that, we are just interested to find out what is for that, we have seen how would be the overall data flow. In today's revision class, we'll see how exactly this Java map reduce functions can be written in order to process large amounts of data. And we'll take the same example as this weather dataset analysis. Okay, now having run through how the MapReduce program works, the next step is to express it in code. Now we have seen how to run the MapReduce, how key value pairs can be given as input to the map function, and how this map function again emits the key value pairs as output, but in a reduced and processed form. And this key value pairs will further be given as input to the reduced phase, which will further consolidate, sort, merge, consolidate, and gives the final result. Okay, now having run through how the MapReduce program works overall, now the next step is to express it in terms of code. Now for this, for writing this code, we need to write three components. One is the map function, and the second one is the reduce function, and third one is some code to run the job. After writing this map function and reduce function, you have to pack them into a job in order to execute a particular task, right? Any processing task is called as a job on this Hadoop platform. Now, in order to run a particular job, each job requires a map function and a reduce function. And sometimes if you want to minimize the data that is transferred between map and reduce phases, then you may have to introduce another function called as combiner function that we'll see in later sessions. Now the input for map function will be in this format. This is the file offset, and this is the input split, the text from which the data that needs to be processed have to be extracted. Now this is an entire text having some meteorological measurements from which you need to extract. Now the problem of interest here is only extracting the year and the temperature recorded in that particular year. Now for this, taking 1950 as the year, and here you have the temperature recording. This plus or minus, this trailing plus or minus will indicate positive or negative temperature recorded. And the last part of this section, this particular substring will give you the quality code, whether it is properly captured or not. And these two terms before the quality code will give you the exact temperature that is captured in that particular area by the sensor. Okay, so this second key value pair will have key as the file offset again. That is from where this second input split is starting in the file, and then again the text data, again the offset and the text data. So what we understood from this is the entire data set, NCDC data set, is first converted into key value pairs, means some pre-processing is performed on this data set, and it is converted into key value pairs which can be understood by a map function. So the abstraction of any data set is in the form of key value pairs, right? So this key value pairs are given to the mapper class, which will perform some operations on it in order to extract the year and the air temperature captured in that particular year. For that, we have the we can write the mapper class, which will override the map function which is already declared in the mapper class, right? For that, we are writing a mapper class like this by importing Java IO exception package and org Apache Hadoop IO int writable, long writable, text and mapper classes. These are wrapper classes which are used in Hadoop. For integer in Java, we use int writable. For integer data type in Java, we use int writable in Hadoop. And for long data type in Java, we use long writable. And for string data type in Java, we use text. And we also require a mapper superclass so that we can override the map function defined in that, declared in that mapper superclass, right? For that, we are importing org.apache.hadoop mapreduce.mapper. Okay, now in this particular class, for this particular class, we are naming it as max temperature mapper. Remember, always when you're giving a class name, it has to appeal about the purpose of that particular class for which it is being written. Now, this mapper class is attempting to find the maximum temperature recorded in a particular year. That is why we are giving the class name as max temperature mapper, right? And this is extending the mapper class. This mapper is the super class that is available in MapReduce package of Hadoop org apache.hadoop. Right now, this is extending the mapper superclass, and what is the template that it is taking? It is taking the key value pair as input and emitting the key value pair as output. For that, we are taking this first key value pair as input, having the data type long writable and text. Long writable is the file offset that you are going to give as input, and the text value is the air temperature. Do not get confused, though the air temperature is in the form of integer. First it is being read as text and later it is converted to integer for any processing, and then again it can be converted back to text when it is being given to the client as final output. So whenever processing is done, only that time it is considered as integer, converted to be as integer. Later it can be reconverted back to text. Okay, so this mapper class is taking long writable and text as the key value pair, and also emitting in the form of key value pair again as output. That is the text for the year, and int writable, which gives the set of temperatures recorded in that particular year across different locations. Okay, that is a list of air temperatures as shown here, right? So that list of integers is also represented by int writable. That is why we take the key value pair as text and int writable. Now we are taking the missing value to be of type 9999. So if any quality code encounters this particular value, then we can treat it as missing, or any other value than 1 or represented here. In the next reduce class, we have some pattern to be matched with the quality code. If it doesn't match with any of those pattern numeric values, then we treat it as an erroneous data. Okay. Now we are giving here the missing value, we are assigning the missing value to be 9999. So if the value is not seen, or if it is equating with this value, then we treat it as a missing value. Okay, that is taken as private static final int. Okay, because it is a constant value. Now we are giving the annotation override, saying that we are overriding the map function declared in the mapper class. A public void map, now we are redefining, we are overriding the map function that is already declared in the mapper class. And what type of parameters it expects? It takes key value pair in the form of long writable and text, and it also requires a context object. Why? Because you need to pack all the details into the context object. For that, you are taking this context object. Context object will transfer the data from one context to another context. In this scenario, it is from mapper class to reducer class. That is why we have to use this context object in order to carry the data between different phases of processing. And this throws IO exception and interrupted exception. And next, we have to use this value in order to convert it to string. Okay, so what value we are taking here? The text value that is passed as value in the key value pair. So the key value here consists of the file offset and the input split. Now from this input split value, you're converting it to a string first and storing it in the line variable. So you're trying to convert the entire input split, the text data, into a string value, into a string variable, so that you can extract the substring whichever you are interested in. That is the year and the A temperature recorded in that particular year, along with the quality code. For that, you are taking the substring function and applying it on the line variable, line dot substring. From 15th character to 19th character, you are extracting it as year. And for the A temperature, you have to do some further functionality. You have to apply some further functionality. Means you have to perform some extra tasks, because the A temperature has trailing plus or minus, and it is also associated with the quality code. Now you have to remove this symbol as well as the quality code and extract only the A temperature. For that, you have to do some further processing. For that, you do it separately by just declaring the A temperature variable. And if the line character at 87, that is where you find the symbols, is equal to plus, in that case you have to, you can omit that plus, because you just have to record the maximum temperatures, right? So you may not be interested in this trailing plus symbol. That is why you are omitting it and extracting the temperature from 88 to 92nd character location. 87 you are not taking. Why? Because you are not interested in this symbol. Okay. Now integer dot parse int, you are converting that substring what is extracted into a integer. From the line, you extract the substring, that is the A temperature, convert into integer and store it in A temperature. Now, if there is no, extract the data, that is the A temperature, from 87th character location itself. Okay, so you are taking it from 87 to 92 and into integer and storing it in A temperature. Now, if you want to see the quality code, only if the quality code is according to what is anticipated, only then you can analyze that particular data, right? You can include that data in the processing. For that, you can take the quality code line dot substring, the last part of that temperature, 92nd to 90, the value at 92nd location. Okay, that will give you the quality code. So store it in the quality variable. Now, what is your condition that you have to check? The A temperature should not be missing, and the quality code should match some particular norms. Say a numeric value, what is mentioned in this regular expression pattern. Okay, so if your A temperature is not equal to a missing value, means if it is a value that is existing, and quality dot matches, if it matches with any of these numeric values 0, 1, 4, 5, 9, any other value other than this is invalid value. Okay, so you can take this quality code values 0, 1, 4, 5, 9 and match with them. And when these two conditions are true, in that case, you can write the data to the context variable, which carries it to the reduce function. Okay, so you are writing by using context.write, new text year. You are creating a new instance of the string variable. In this case, in Hadoop, it is text variable. You are writing new instance for this text and passing the that is taken here, that is extracted as a substring from the input split, and new int writable, which is taken from the A temperature, right? So this is again treated as the key value pair, which is given as input to the reduce phase. Now this reducer class again expects the data that is being passed to it in the form of key value pair, and it emits again in the key form of key value pair. So here you're extending the reducer superclass and overriding the reduce function that is already declared in the reducer class. by taking input key and the output key. See here we are using iterable int writable. Why? Because we are getting the list of 8 temperatures recorded in each year. In order to go through each of those 8 temperatures and find out the maximum temperature, you are taking it as iterable int writable values, which represents a list of values which has to be gone through in order to get the maximum temperature. For this, you are taking the parameters for reduce function as the year as key, which is of text type, and the 8 temperatures as iterable int writable values. And again, you require a context object in order to write the output of reduce phase in the key value abstraction, and finally send it to a local machines file in order to be consolidated. For that, you have to write it to a context object. Okay, now you have to take the max value as the minimum value possible, so that it can be compared with each of these temperature values, and whenever that particular temperature is maximum, that will be made as current maximum, right? So in this case, you are taking integer dot min value as the max value, and I already said that this value is equal to minus 2 power 31. Okay, now that is value, and you are going to compare it with each of these temperature values. So for int writable value, you are extracting it from the values. Each value you are taking from this list of values, each value into the value variable, which is of int writable type, that is of int type when compared to Java data type. And now we are using the math.max function, max, and you're taking max value and comparing it with the value that is extracted into this value variable. Value.get, you get the current value of the air temperature, compare it with the max value. If it is maximum, that value will become the current max value. In the later case, again you get the next value in the list, compare it with the max value. If it is a max value, that will be the current maximum air temperature encountered so far. Okay, that will be correct into the max value variable. And finally, after this for loop, from this list you get the max temperature as 22, and from this list you get the max temperature as 111. Now you use the context object in order to write this key, that is the year, and the new int writable max value, that is the maximum value in that particular list. So you will get as output from this reduce function the year and the maximum temperature recorded in that particular year. Now finally, we are packing all these map and reduce functions into a job. For that, you are creating a job object by using new instance of the job, which is a class that is available in org.apache.hadoop.mapreduce. Okay, for that job class, you're creating a new instance, and you have to create a jar file, Java archive file, which is a set of all these classes that are being packed into the job. For this, jar file has to be created and placed on the cluster, which can be picked up by any job tracker in order to execute that particular job by assigning it to further task trackers. Right? For that, you are creating set jar by class. You are using set jar by class method, which takes max temperature dot class. That is this class. This class is dot class file. Okay, and that jar file is being created, and you can also set a default name to this particular job in order to find when you are tracking the progress of the job, you can easily find out that particular job using this name, using this identifier. That is why it is always better to give a name for each job. Now we are using the file input format from which file the data has to be read, and the file output format to which file the data final output has to be written. That is the output of MapReduce task, where that output have to be written. That can be given as set output path. And you have, for that you're using set mapper class file and set object. And finally, you're also setting the data type of the key value pairs that would be emitted as output by the reduce by this job that is being executed using map and reduce functions. Okay, for that you are setting output key class, which is the text type, that is the year, and set output value class, that is integer value, that is the A temperature recorded, maximum A temperature recorded in that particular year. Okay, so you have created the job object, created the jar file, given it a name, and you are setting the input path from where the data has to be read for processing, and setting the output path to where the data has to be written, the output data has to be written, and you are setting the mapper class and reducer classes, which includes the map and reduce functions in order to execute this job. And you are also setting the type of data that would be given as output by this job. Now finally you are calling wait for completion method, job dot wait for completion method, and this will convert the progress of the job into a boolean value 0 or 1. So if it receives 0, then the job has completed, and if it receives 1, the job is still executing. So this is taken by system.exit function, system.exit method, and if it gets a value 0, then the job has been completed and it exits. If it gets 1, then the job has been completed and it exits, and if 0, the job is still running. Okay, that is how the job is executed by packing the map and reduce functions. Okay, in the next walkthrough, we'll go through the next concepts. See you in the next class.